Hi there, it's Eb Gagado from productiveblogging.com, and today I am sharing my review of a blogging and social media scheduling tool called CoSchedule. I'm going to share exactly what you can do with this tool as a blogger, how much time you can expect to save by using this tool, and whether it is worth the cost. So first up, what exactly is CoSchedule? Whenever I ask my fellow bloggers what their greatest blogging struggle is, the most common answer I get back is time. There is just so much to do, so much we want to do, but never enough time to do it all in. CoSchedule is a tool which is designed for bloggers and really any kind of digital entrepreneur to save us time, automate a bunch of boring routine tasks, and make us more productive. Basically, it's a tool designed to help us get more done in less time and make best use of that very precious resource we have, time. Okay, so what can you actually do with CoSchedule? The first thing you can do is see your entire marketing calendar all at once. That is everything. You can see all your posts, all your social media, all of your newsletters, anything else you choose to put in your calendar. And the great thing about CoSchedule is most of this happens automatically. So there's no long, laborious process of inputting things. It's already there. CoSchedule pull in all the information from WordPress, from your social media profiles, so you don't have to sort of spend time inputting. It's not one of those tools where it actually takes you more time to use the tool than it does to actually do the stuff that the tool helps you with. CoSchedule's not like that. CoSchedule saves you time. And you can also see your daily to-do list on your calendar as well if you set that up. So this is my blogging marketing calendar set up in CoSchedule. So as you can see, all of these green messages, that's social media messages. That's actually social media messages that CoSchedule have generated for me, and more about that later when I talk about CoSchedule Requeue. But you can also see where I've created social media campaigns, and you can also see where I've created blog posts. If I just let you have a look at the previous week, I will show you a couple of blog posts. So you can see here, if I just click out of that and if I scroll down, you can see here where I've got a blog post and also where I've got all the associated social media that goes with that blog post right onto my calendar. And you can also see, whenever I create a blog post, I also create like a little checklist to go with the blog post. So that kind of keeps me on track, makes sure I do all the things that I need to do. I'll show you a bit more about that later, but you can see all of that on the calendar as well. But the great thing about this calendar is you don't have to see everything. So you can have a view like I've got at the moment, which just shows you everything, but you can also filter that view. You can go here to where it says filter, and you can choose a way of filtering. So for example, you could go to project type, and you could click on WordPress, and it will then just show you your WordPress blog posts on the calendar and nothing else. So you can see at the moment I've just got two in this month. This is kind of the month starting this week and going forward, and you can just see that I've just got those two that are set up already, but if I go backwards in time, you can see that I've got all my blog posts from the previous month set up, all the different ones that I've done in that particular month. Let's go forwards again. You could also filter, for example, by color labels. So whenever you create a blog post or a social media campaign within CoSchedule, it gives you the option to label that campaign with a color. And I really recommend you would do that, because then you can use that as one of your filters. You can also filter by social profiles. So you can see, for example, if you just want to see your tweets or you just want to see your LinkedIn messages or whatever, you can see all that. As I said, you can filter by the social profile as well. And you can also set up saved views. So if I just click out of here, click done. And then if I go over here, I have got a whole bunch of saved views. So the one I normally use is just looking at kind of everything. So this is my like everything view, but I can also filter. I can see, for example, I've saved a view which is just post, just tasks, just tweets, no tasks and posts. You can create whatever save view you want. And that way you can quickly and easily have a look at something. So for example, say if I just wanted to look at just my tasks, I could click that one and boom, everything's gone except just my tasks. Okay, now let's reset that back to the full calendar again, because I want to show you the next super exciting thing that you can do within CoSchedule, which is that you can drag to move blog posts around, and all the social media goes with it. So let's find a blog post, or actually I haven't got a blog post that I can move, but I do have this social campaign that I can move. So let's just pretend instead of a social campaign, this was a blog post. And let's say I decided, you know what, I actually don't want it going out on the 22nd, I want it going out on the 23rd. I can just take that, drag it across into the 23rd, and it will automatically move across into the 23rd. But better than that, it will move all the social media that goes with it, because obviously you don't want the social media going the day before the blog post. That would be really annoying. So you can move all of the social media, or you can actually click into the blog post and you can adjust exactly when you want the post to be sent. And again, all of the social media will move in accordance to that. So say, for example, instead of having your post go out at 9, maybe you decide you actually want that post to go out at 10. You can change that, and then all of the associated social media will all kind of move to be an hour later than what you originally set it at. Okay, the next thing that CoSchedule does is it will schedule all of your social media really quickly and easily. And it doesn't just schedule your social media, it has a bunch of other brilliant features. Like, for example, you can schedule the same social message to go out on multiple channels. You can use templates and social helpers to kind of auto-populate your social media and save you massive amount of time. There's even a bulk upload feature, so you can upload social media from a spreadsheet if that's how you want to work. I've never used that, but you know, if you like doing your social media in a spreadsheet, you can use that as well with CoSchedule. So let me show you very quickly how you can schedule social media really quickly to multiple channels. So let's say I want to create a social media campaign on Friday. I would click into there, I would choose social campaign, and I'm just going to call this example. I can, as I said, I can create a label. So let's say, for example, this is productive blogging social media. I can adjust the time and the date if I want to, just by clicking in here and clicking on the time and the date I want. And then I would click create project. And that then opens me up this social campaign, and this allows me to create a social campaign, so multiple social media messages. So let's just open this up very quickly. I can click in here and I can choose all of my social channels. So for example, let's say this is a productive blogging one. I can choose all of my productive blogging channels. And then I can quickly create a message. Maybe I want to ask a question. What's your best social media tip? I can then pick a photograph. I can either upload a file, or I can choose from all my previous uploads. So I'm going to go into all uploads. So this is all of the stuff that I've previously uploaded into CoSchedule. And I can choose a photograph. I can click save. And then I can choose exactly when I want to send it. It says same day as publish. That's in relation to when you decide to publish the social campaign. So you set a date for the social campaign, and then all of the social media, you choose a date based on that. So if I set my campaign date to be tomorrow at 9, and then I would say this is same day as publish, 1 hour after publish, this would go out at 10 o'clock, for example. I can also just choose best time, and then CoSchedule will pick the time that it thinks is best for that social media channel. So that kind of takes the guesswork out of when is the best time. I know I have just really quickly whizzed through this, but that's because I have done a whole in-depth YouTube video all about how to use the different scheduling tools in CoSchedule. So if you want to find out more about, for example, how you can schedule directly inside WordPress, or how you can create a template or use social helpers, all of that good stuff, just head to the YouTube video about social media scheduling in CoSchedule, which I will link to in the description below. Okay, another really awesome feature of CoSchedule is Requeue. You can use Requeue to keep resharing evergreen social media content. So basically, every time you create a new social media message, you can choose if you want to add that social media message to your Requeue. And then you can set the Requeue function to reshare your old social media messages as if they were new. This feature alone saves me hours and hours each week, and it means that I can share to social media much more often than if I was trying to just do social media manually. It also keeps driving traffic to my older blog posts, and it means I can just basically set it and forget it with social media. Yet my profiles always look new and fresh, which is particularly brilliant when I go on holiday or when I'm just having a really busy time on the blog. So let me show you how you would set up Requeue. So we've set up our social media campaign here, which is just a little question, but I could also use this for promoting blog posts. And then I come down to this kind of double arrows crossing thing, which is the Requeue symbol. And you can see it pops up, this is add to Requeue. So I click on add to Requeue, and then it gives me the option to configure Requeue. And within Requeue, you actually have different groups that you can set up. So you can add your content to different groups. So for example, I've got a group for evergreen content for my food blog, Easy Peasy Foodie. I've also got a Requeue group for my productive blogging evergreen content. I've got one set up that just sends on Mondays for Monday motivation hashtag social media messages. I've got one that just goes on Fridays for Friday introductions. And I've also got seasonal ones. So for example, I've got an Easter one, I've got a Christmas one, Thanksgiving, all sorts of different groups so that I can make sure that my Requeue messages go out at the right time, and I don't send out Monday motivation on a Wednesday, and I don't send out Christmas posts in August. So I'm going to add this one to my evergreen content. That's all I need to do. I can set an expiry date if I like, but I don't want to do that. And then I just click save, and that message is created. It will send on Friday to all of my social media channels, the exact same message. And that will be added to my Requeue. And so periodically, as I have set it up, that message will be reshared to all of my social channels. So you can see just with, if I hadn't been talking through all of that, that would have been about 3 minutes work. Just with 3 minutes work, maybe 2 minutes work, I've created all that social media, and it's not kind of something that I have to do again and again and again. That is now put back into my queue, and that will keep getting shared over and over again. And that's obviously really great, especially if that social campaign is sharing a blog post, because it means it's getting those old blog posts out in front of fresh eyes over and over again without me having to do anything manually to make that happen. And then if we just X out of there, first of all, you should be able to see yep, there we go. There's my social media campaign. So you can see that campaign is set up, and then all of these social media posts are going out at that best time that CoSchedule have chosen for those posts to go out. And if you hover over, you can actually see a little preview of the social media message that's going to go out. But I want to draw your attention to all of these green posts. So we're just looking at a week here. Let's go to the beginning of the week. There's the beginning of the week. So if I start there, this is a whole week. Look at all those green posts. That's all my Requeue posts. Now have a look. If I keep scrolling down, this is a whole week's worth of Requeue posts. Now I have been using CoSchedule for, that's the end of the week. I've been using CoSchedule for years, so I have really filled up my Requeue queue so that there is tons and tons of messages that will go out every single day. That isn't extra work I've had to do. I haven't had to do work for any of these green posts. This is all stuff that CoSchedule is doing automatically for me. But obviously I can set up how often I want Requeue to share stuff. So in the requeue settings, you can set up that, for example, I only want to send 4 messages a day to Facebook, but I'm happy to send 20 messages a day to Twitter, for example. So you can set those limits for yourself so you're not posting too often or more often than you would like in your social media channels. If you want to see more about how to use requeue, I've done a whole in-depth YouTube video all about how to set up requeue and how to use it in different ways to really save a ton of time. And I show you how to create those seasonal groups and those Monday motivation or Friday introductions, those groups that will only send social media messages on a particular day. I show you how to do all of that inside that tutorial. So I will link to that tutorial in the description. Okay, so the next thing that you can do with CoSchedule is you can use the task template function to manage projects and create workflows. So I love this feature, especially for blog posts, because it allows me to create a separate template for each blog post. And this ensures I don't forget anything and I always know what I need to do next. So I'm just going to very briefly show you that. So if we hop into a blog post, which I think I've got one up the top somewhere. There we go. So if I hop into this blog post, and so this is like the CoSchedule side of a blog post. And as you can see on the side of this blog post, I've got all these tasks. These are all the tasks that I would normally do for every single blog post. And I don't just include the stuff that's actually in the blog post. So, for example, adding the H tags or adding the links or, setting up Yoast and adding the featured image. I put all of that in there, obviously, but I also put in things like adding the social media and writing and scheduling my newsletters. So it makes for like one continuous seamless workflow, and it allows me to keep track of every part of each blog post in one place. So it means I work more efficiently and I will be reminded if anything becomes overdue. If you want to see more on how to create these task lists and how to use them, head over to my YouTube video all about exactly how I use CoSchedule to set up blog posts and to keep track of those blogging tasks and basically be really organized and really productive with my blogging. I will put the link to that YouTube video in the description below. Another nice feature of CoSchedule is it will integrate with lots of different platforms. So it will integrate with the major social media platforms. So that's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn, but also with a bunch of other things like WordPress, for example, Google Analytics, and so on. So to show you how this works, I'll just clump over here to the little hamburger menu. And then if I click on my name and come down here to integrations, you can see all the different integrations that CoSchedule have. So as you can see, it's got Bitly and Google Analytics. It's got things like Asana and Trello and Excel and Google Sheets. It's got your storage like your Google Drive. It's got content publishing. It's got WordPress and a YouTube integration. It's got email marketing. It's got project management, and it's got all sorts of other tools like, for example, Slack or Zapier. And there's also a section down here, so if you don't see an integration for what you want, you can request that integration from CoSchedule. And the reason these integrations are so good is because it just creates a seamless workflow and just kind of removes or reduces the amount of jumping about between different screens that we bloggers so often find ourselves doing. So I just want to show you one really cool little bit of integration, which is the integration with WordPress. So if we get out of here and go back to our calendar, and let's jump into the WordPress section here. So this is the kind of CoSchedule side of things. So this is the WordPress, the blog post that's set up, and we've got my like the title of my blog post, the post author, the categories, everything like that. We've got a task list, and then we've got our social media down here. But the really great thing about this is that anytime you want, you can jump straight from CoSchedule into WordPress to exactly the right place, right from within your CoSchedule dashboard. So let's say, for example, I'm working on this post. I was working on it yesterday maybe, and I've come back today and I want to carry on working. I can just jump straight from CoSchedule into my editing screen for this blog post, and boom, there we go. There is my blog post, and I can carry on editing. And once the blog post is published, I can also just click here and it will open the live view of that blog post. And the other great thing about CoSchedule is that if you have WordPress, you can actually manage your CoSchedule marketing calendar and your social media right inside WordPress. So again, if we head over to edit in WordPress, and then if we scroll down to the bottom of this screen, just below the Yoast box, you will find the CoSchedule box, and you can see I've got the exact same view in here. I've got the task list, and I've also got the social media, and I can add social media right in here. And I do recommend, if you are creating social media that is linked to a blog post, I really recommend that you create it right within your WordPress dashboard. What I do is I will create the blog post, and when the blog post is done, I will come right down here and I will create the social media for that blog post right inside WordPress. And then that means that the social media is kind of stuck to that blog post, and it means if in the future you need to change anything about that social media, maybe you like spot a spelling mistake or something, you can quickly jump into this bit here and find that post and amend it, which is much easier than kind of finding it within the CoSchedule app. And then another really nice feature of CoSchedule is that you can quickly and easily share other people's content. So let's quickly find somebody else's blog post. So let's take a look at the Yoast website. And let's find a blog post from Yoast. Let's pick this WordPress SEO definitive guide. And then I can just come up here, and this is the CoSchedule Chrome extension. So if you click on that, then that will open again this sort of CoSchedule editing screen. And then you can choose your social profiles. So for example, normally I like to share other people's content to my Facebook and my Twitter. So I can just quickly click on there. And then I can write something, I don't know, check out this great WordPress SEO tutorial from Yoast. And then, as you can see, I've written at Yoast, and it automatically pops up with various Yoast related social media. Obviously, I want their Twitter channel, which is that one there. And that's my social post done for Facebook. And then I can just copy that, paste that, and then I just need to change this channel. So if I just do that again, it should pop up, and this time obviously I want to use Facebook. And really helpfully, this one is coloured turquoise or light blue for Twitter, and this one is the dark blue of Facebook, so I can make sure that I've picked the right social channel. And then it automatically pulls in the preview card thing, so that's all taken care of. And then I can decide when I want to schedule this for. So maybe I want to schedule this for tomorrow at, let's leave best time on. So then CoSchedule will choose the best time. I can colour this if I want to with a label, which I will, because I curated content. I always do this kind of fuchsia colour, and that helps me just see it on my CoSchedule calendar. And then when all of that's done, I can click save, that's already scheduled. And then if I go back to my calendar, I'll X out of that. And then if we scroll down to the right day. And there we go. There's the Facebook message, which is being sent at 9:57 because that's the time that CoSchedule reckons is the best time to send that Facebook message. And then if we scroll down a bit further, then we've got 12:48 in the afternoon. We've got the Twitter message. Again, if you want to see a bit more about how to schedule social media within CoSchedule, I've got a whole video all about scheduling social media, which I will link to in the description. And the last thing I want to talk about of the features of CoSchedule is the resources that CoSchedule have. So CoSchedule have really great support and really great help section. So if you just pop up here to the question mark and click on the question mark, you can see this will pop up the support center where you can get power tips on how to use CoSchedule's most powerful features, but you can also get support, so you can search the help docs, or you can do a live chat, or you can do email support if you prefer to do things that way. So if you get stuck with CoSchedule, there's lots of support there to help you. Okay, so the big question is, how much time does CoSchedule save me? I find this, it's a bit of a difficult question to answer because CoSchedule doesn't just save me heaps of time, but it also helps me get a lot more done than I was ever able to do when I was doing all of my social media manually. And I also save time not getting distracted. So, for example, before I started using CoSchedule, I would go onto Facebook to just do one quick Facebook post to share my latest blog post or something. But I'd end up spending 20 minutes on Facebook there because I started scrolling. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, we've all been there. Whereas if I do all this through CoSchedule, there's nothing there to distract me. I can't accidentally see my feed and notice something and end up losing half an hour to Facebook because I'm not in Facebook. So I would estimate that when you add up everything that CoSchedule does, it saves me about 10 hours a week. But when you consider that I probably get 4 times as much done as I would under my old system, probably more actually, but let's say 4 times, that is 40 hours a week. That's basically a full-time person. CoSchedule is like having a full-time social media VA, but for a fraction of the cost. And better still, you have total control and you don't lose any time liaising with him or her. Okay, so how much does CoSchedule cost and is it worth it? I genuinely think that CoSchedule is worth the price. In fact, I think it's more than worth the price, but it's not super cheap. And I know that's going to be a stumbling block for some people. For me, CoSchedule very much fits with the mantra of you get what you pay for. And you do get an awful lot with CoSchedule, and the price does reflect that to some extent. So current pricing is $29 a month, which is just over £20, I think, for the marketing calendar level, which includes everything I've mentioned in this review, as many WordPress sites as you want, 10 social profiles, 10 users. So if you've got VA, you can give them access to CoSchedule, for example. It includes blog and social sharing. It also includes Requeue and those task templates that I showed you. And you can, if you want to add more users or more social profiles, you can do that as an add-on rather than upgrading to the next tier. So for example, I think when I started productive blogging, I actually paid an extra $15 to be able to add 5 extra social profiles, but I didn't have to pay anything for adding the extra WordPress site. But there's a big but here. I really need to point out that you can actually get CoSchedule for half price if you write a review of CoSchedule, which I think is pretty incredible. You just have to write a review and submit it to CoSchedule and you get half off. So actually, as long as you write a review, you're getting CoSchedule for $14.50 a month or £10 a month. And if you refer people to CoSchedule using your referral link, you get an additional 10% off for each sign up. Which reminds me, if you do decide to get CoSchedule after watching this review, I would be super grateful if you would use my CoSchedule affiliate link, which is productiveblogging.com/CoSchedule. I will put that link in the description too. Using my link won't cost you a penny more, but it will help fund all the hard work that goes into bringing you Productive Blogging, the YouTube channel and the blog. And one final thing, If you are still not sure CoSchedule is right for you, you can get a 14-day free trial of CoSchedule to try it out before you buy, so you can check out all these features and see if it would be right for you. So I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. If you want to find out more about CoSchedule, I have a bunch of other CoSchedule videos for you, which I will link to in the description below, where I show you things like all the cool social sharing features in CoSchedule, and I've got an in-depth tutorial on how to use CoSchedule's requeue function to automate your social media posting, and I've also got a step-by-step tutorial on exactly how I use CoSchedule to create blogging checklists and schedule my blog posts and be more organized and save a ton of time. And if you would like more videos about CoSchedule, please let me know what you'd like to see in the comments below. So thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed watching, I would love it if you would give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video.